On Memorial Day in 2026, Nebraska gathers to honor the fallen, brave sons and daughters from the Heartland who gave their lives in service from World War I through post-9/11 conflicts. Their courage, rooted in family farms, small towns like Scottsbluff, North Platte, and Omaha, and a deep commitment to community and country, stands as a cornerstone of Nebraska's spirit. Yet this day also demands reckoning with a darker truth. While these warriors defended America, many of the state's leaders, governors, congressional delegates, and legislatures failed to shield them, supporting or enabling involvement in conflicts often marked by deceitful pretexts, profit-driven motives, flawed strategies, and little lasting benefit to Nebraska or the nation. This annual reading of the names exposes that betrayal, naming those in positions of power during each era as a solemn act of accountability. It is not to diminish the valor of the fallen, but to confront the pattern of leadership failure that sacrificed Heartland youth for external agendas while neglecting homeland security, economic stability, and community well-being. Naming of the Memorial Day Traitors, reading of the names for 2026. Today, on Memorial Day 2026, we conduct the annual reading of the names, solemnly listing Nebraska's governors, congressional delegates, senators and representatives, and the Nebraska state legislature as a whole during each major conflict period. Each entry indicts those who held power and supported or failed to oppose policies sending young Nebraskans into wars characterized by suspicious origins, catastrophic military planning, and negligible benefit to the state. We proceed in sequential historical order, recognizing the continuity of this pattern from 1917 to the present. These leaders are labeled traitors because they repeatedly supported or failed to oppose America's involvement in wars driven by deceitful pretexts, catastrophic military planning, and corporate interests, sacrificing thousands of Nebraska sons and daughters while neglecting the state's security, economy, and heartland communities. Reading of the names. Traitor, Keith Neville, Governor of Nebraska, World War I. Traitor, George W. Norris, Senator, World War I. Traitor, Gilbert M. Hitchcock, Senator, World War I. Traitor, Charles Sloan, Representative, World War I. Traitor, Charles Revis, Representative, World War I. Traitor, Albert Jeffress, Representative, World War I. Traitor, Robert Evans, Representative, World War I. Traitor, William Andrews, Representative, World War I. Traitor, Moses Kincaid, Representative, World War I. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 1917 to 1918 sessions, World War I. Traitor, Dwight Griswold, Governor of Nebraska, World War II. Traitor, Robert L. Cochran, Governor of Nebraska, World War II. Traitor, Hugh Butler, Senator, World War II. Traitor, Kenneth Wary, Senator, World War II. Traitor, Carl Curtis, Representative, World War II. Traitor, John Sweet, Representative, World War II. Traitor, Harry Coffey, Representative, World War II. Traitor, Orrin Copeland, Representative, World War II. Traitor, Charles McLaughlin, Representative, World War II. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 1941 to 1945 sessions, World War II. Traitor, Val Peterson, Governor of Nebraska, Korean War. Traitor, Hugh Butler, Senator, Korean War. Traitor, Kenneth Wary, Senator, Korean War. Traitor, Howard Buffett, Representative, Korean War. Traitor, Arthur Miller, Representative, Korean War. Traitor, Carl Stephan, Representative, Korean War. Traitor, Robert Harrison, Representative, Korean War. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 1949 to 1953 sessions, Korean War. Traitor, Frank Morrison, Governor of Nebraska, Vietnam War. Traitor, Norbert Tiemann, Governor of Nebraska, Vietnam War. Traitor, James Exon, Governor of Nebraska, Vietnam War. Traitor, Roman Ruska, Senator, Vietnam War. Traitor, Carl Curtis, Senator, Vietnam War. Traitor, Glenn Cunningham, Representative, Vietnam War. Traitor, David Martin, Representative, Vietnam War. Traitor, Robert Denny, Representative, Vietnam War. Traitor, John McCollister, Representative, Vietnam War. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 1961 to 1975 sessions, Vietnam War. Traitor, Ben Nelson, Governor of Nebraska, First Gulf War. Traitor, Bob Carey, Senator, First Gulf War. Traitor, James Exon, Senator, First Gulf War. Traitor, Doug Baruter, Representative, First Gulf War. Traitor, Peter Hoagland, Representative, First Gulf War. Traitor, Virginia Smith, Representative, First Gulf War. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 1989 to 1991 sessions, First Gulf War. Traitor, Mike Johans, Governor of Nebraska, post-9/11 conflicts, Afghanistan-Iraq. Traitor, Dave Heineman, Governor of Nebraska, post-9/11 conflicts, Afghanistan-Iraq. Traitor, Pete Ricketts, Governor of Nebraska, post-9/11 conflicts, Afghanistan-Iraq. Traitor, Chuck Hagel, Senator, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Ben Nelson, Senator, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Deb Fischer, Senator, post-9/11 conflicts and ongoing. Traitor, Doug Baruter, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Lee Terry, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Tom Osborne, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Jeff Fortenberry, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Adrian Smith, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Mike Flood, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts and ongoing. Traitor, Don Bacon, Representative, post-9/11 conflicts and ongoing. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 2001-2021 plus sessions, post-9/11 conflicts. Traitor, Pete Ricketts, Governor of Nebraska, current era, border ongoing deployments. Traitor, Jim Pillen, Governor of Nebraska, current era, border ongoing deployments. Traitor, Deb Fischer, Senator, current era. Traitor, Pete Ricketts, Senator, current era. Traitor, Mike Flood, Representative, current era. Traitor, Don Bacon, Representative, current era. Traitor, Adrian Smith, Representative, current era. Traitor, Nebraska State Legislature, 2023 to 2026 sessions, current era. Thus concludes the reading of the names for 2026. The pattern of betrayal runs like a thread through Nebraska's history since statehood in 1867. Leaders repeatedly aligned with federal entanglements in wars fueled by questionable pretexts, provocations, ignored intelligence, or fabricated incidents, while overlooking catastrophic military planning that wasted lives without securing clear advantages for the heartland or the nation. Themes of complicity emerge clearly. Governors and delegates prioritized alignment with national or global agendas over state sovereignty and the welfare of constituents. Economic strain followed as war spending diverted resources from family farms and small businesses, inflating costs and creating labor shortages in rural communities where young people were lost. Socially, towns grappled with the trauma of returning veterans, community division, and failure to address domestic vulnerabilities like border security or internal stability. They earned the title of traitors by aligning with federal policies that sent Nebraska's brave youth into avoidable or mismanaged conflicts offering no benefit to the state or nation, betraying their duty to protect constituents and prioritizing global agendas over the safety and future of Nebraska families. A core theme is the failure to learn. Each conflict, from avoidable European entanglements to proxy stalemates in Asia and prolonged Middle Eastern occupations, should have prompted rejection of further futile endeavors. Instead, Successive leaders perpetuated the cycle, reflecting broader issues of duplicitous national policy, corporate influences, and neglect of homeland priorities. The Nebraska state legislature, acting collectively across sessions, consistently facilitated mobilization and federal policies without sufficient pushback, amplifying executive and congressional failures. In the current era, this extends to prioritizing foreign engagements amid domestic challenges, leaving the state exposed. These actions betray the Heartland ethos of resilience, self-reliance, and protection of one's own, eroding sovereignty and burdening future generations with debt and division. In conclusion, these traitors, governors, senators, representatives, and legislatures alike, stand indicted for their generational betrayal, trading the lives of Nebraska's bravest sons and daughters for political expediency, corporate profits, and failed global agendas while abandoning the very heartland they swore to protect. This Memorial Day 2026, as we read the names and honor the fallen, Nebraska must confront this legacy of leadership betrayal. The courage of those who serve demands more than flags on graves. It requires voters, parents, and communities to demand accountability, reject endless global entanglements, and elect leaders who place Nebraska's security and prosperity first. By breaking the cycle of sacrifice for external interests, the state can forge a future worthy of its heartland sons and daughters, secure, sovereign, and true to its values. The time for change is now.